Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome back to my playthrough of Pillars of Eternity. We are bounty hunting, basically.
All right,
I've got to get this lurker out of here, and then the Zarup with all the drakes. I have rested, because that was my primary problem last time. Let's get ourselves set. Oh fuck! I'm already on top of it. Let's back up.
Of course.
Not too far. Endurance, as usual, has to be up front and center. We will set up our usual line like this. Come on. Let me do it. But this time, I've got to be mindful that these guys all have area of effects and shit.
Ready, Watcher.
Pagani will take the flank.
Hey.
And Eder will move up. Switch to a bow. Go ahead and open up with a shot on the Greater Earthblight. Switch to melee. Endurance, you need to get... actually, you need to do circle protection first. Boom. Let's see, what else? Go ahead and open fire on those characters that can. RPG Crawler, what can you do? Let's get something up. Let's drop the web up here, just so they have to run through it. And then last but not least, our druid. What's good for a druid? What's a good area of a... What's a good duration-based area of effect? I think they got a Conjure Lesser Blight. Insect Swarm. That is... Concentrate for 12.5 seconds versus Fortitude. So you know what? We are going... we're going to set up a lightning thing. Because that takes a while to cast. No, why are you running forward? Okay, run back here. Now Endurance needs to get his Consecrated Ground up. Now that they are amongst us, we need to take the Blights out first, I believe, and then the Manquegra. So we'll switch to the Greater Earthblight for our ranged attacks. And then we will do... do the Wall of Fire. Get that up nice and good. And then the Infestation of Maggots on these things. Okay. Come on, Endurance, get the Consecrated Ground up. Alright. Now what do we got? Gonna get Eder on this Earthblight. Kana on this Earthblight. Endurance on this Earthblight. Sagani on this Earthblight. RPG Crawler, you are going to attempt to paralyze the troll. No, you're not. You're going to do a fireball in amongst all this shit. And then my druid is going to drop something on them. Or drop a hailstorm on them. And Itumak will attack the Dweller. Oh crap, it looks like everybody's dying. Party good.
Thing is a job.
Boom. So the real question is, can I do anything about this shit? Endurance is about to go down, and that will be a very bad thing. Well, they're all injured except for the one troll. Endurance, what you gonna do about everything? You're gonna restore major endurance on people. Starting with you. Okay, what else can we do? Drop another fireball on all this shit. When in doubt, throw fire everywhere. I don't even think I got the lurker in that one. And what will my druid do? My druid will drop a moonwell on my party. Because I need it badly. Sagani, you're going to mark the lurker. Eder will attempt to... he'll attempt to do something. I just don't know what. Just continue to attack, I guess. Alright, looks like I've recovered from the brink of death's door. Just stacking heals. Boom. We'll deal with this Menpuegra. No, Eder did not need to actually walk into the flames. And that's down. Let's try this troll. My fox will be glad to tank that lurker for a little while longer. No, you know what? Eder needs to go over to it. Eder, go to the lurker. Knock it down. Everybody else will continue on this troll. Well. Okay, once the troll goes down, then we switch to the lurker. Or the dweller, my bad. And we should be able to take it down real quick. Hell, this time I didn't even lose anybody. What a difference a night's rest makes.
Get on.
He's frightened, he's prone, and he's getting his ass kicked. And that's down.
That didn't work. Need to try something else.
No, it worked alright. Go ahead and grab all that. Go ahead and grab the dweller's head. We will quick save.
Alright then.
Did we miss any of his shit? Yeah, we did. We're gonna kill it just for giggles. May as well finish the job, right? Yeah, who has Spreading Plague? Durance and RPG Crawler. Let's go ahead and take these guys out. Give these people with a plague a little bit of room. That troll should go down real fucking quick. Badly injured, near death, and should be down. There we go. Now onto the Greater Earthblight. Oh wait, it's not dead yet. God damn it. Well, we'll take the Greater Earthblight out first. There we go. More shit to loot.
Alright then.
That's it. I think that is it. Come on, is that seriously it? Yep, we cleared that. Alright, it looks like all we got left is the damn Zarep, which I'm not looking forward to, but I know where he is at least. So I will meet you there. Actually, I'll rest at Caed Nua first and turn that in, then I will meet you there. Okay, once again into the Warden's Lodge to sell my shit.
Hail, traveler.
I took down the Dweller. To the relief of the merchants, I'm sure. Here's the coin they were offering. Anything else? No. So the Dweller, I've taken care of that. Let's go ahead and rest and head onward. Oh, wait. Major adventure added. Huh.
Alright then.
Bandits are beginning to cost me more in taxes. bandits are beginning to cost more than my taxes are coming in. God damn. Rewards average item, 15% experience. I'm going to assign Dwarf Chick onto it. Major adventure. Got 2 more days of construction. Well, let's head inside and find out what my first little adventure got me in terms of rewards. All right, now here's the Great Hall. What kind of chest do we got? There we go. Okay, I got a general goods merchant here. I got a worm wing for the stash. Spider legs for the stash. Like, we got all this shit for the stash.
Well,
let's see what this good merchant has. Greetings, my lord. Fancy a new blade, maybe an axe. I've plenty here to take the fancy of any man of action, or perhaps some ingredients and spices for the road. Show me your wares. Some nice minor potions. I will, of course, get 2 camping supplies. That's all I can carry. He's got hammer and chisel on him, which I will trade for. And that's that. So I can buy camping supplies there. Okay, good. Let me head on out. And off to face that Zarup. Alright, I'm in Valewood. If I remember right, the Zarup is camped up here, so let's go to this place. Set ourselves up. Figure out how to deal with these guys. Eder, of course, is going to run point. You know what? If I set up near these wagons, it'll control one of my flanks.
Yes.
RPG crawler can stay back there. Sagani will stay in the middle, and my Orlin will cover that flank. Alright, Eder. No, not Durance. Eder. A quick save. And try and do this. Wait, am I even going the right way? Yes, I am. Alright, got my bow up. And we will attempt to tag a Drake. And Eder... Oh shit, these guys have a fear aura. Alright, my chanter is not set up for that right now. Alright, Durance, go ahead and get Consecrated Ground up. RPG Crawler. Once more with a Wall of Fire. Put it right there. My Orlan's gonna wait for a second. Alright, now my Orlan's gonna jump in and he's going to do the whole lightning thing. Well, I should have started that earlier. Everybody else is gonna focus fire on this champion. Everybody else being 2 people. Zap. Okay. Well, that is substantially better than the previous time we went this way. Go ahead and throw a fireball out there. No, that's not. You know what we're going to do? We're going to use this attack slowing thing. And then we will drop some sort of infestation of maggots. I'm having a hard time seeing what that'll hit. We'll do Blizzard. do it. I should not be doing this. I need to go slower. I'm going to say we should not be going that fast. I need to go slower. Got one large drake and a couple young drakes. That large drake looks like it is the big one, so we will, of course, mark it. I will go ahead and do Divine Mark on it. What else can I do? Let's go ahead and try and paralyze it, I guess. Fetid Caress. And might be able to do things. And I think that's about all I can do here. Wow, okay. That Zarup is pretty much annoying me, so we're going to try and get our ranged attack on him. Actually, it's time to paralyze some people, so let's paralyze them. Alright. This should enable me to do this real quick. That Drake is barely injured. Well, we'll take the High Priest out at least. We're not taking a lot of damage. That much. Okay, the High Priest is down. Let's move all our ranged to the next High Priest. Which is barely injured. Well, you know what? These guys, or these drakes, I believe, are either fire immune or fire resistant. So we're going to try to magic missile these guys, or whatever, the ones that bounce around. And we will drop something on them. Get lightning back up on their way. That one any time now. Looks like my people are actually taking damage.
Try something else.
I'm gonna get everybody but that Drake now. Oh, the Drake is badly injured. All of these things are badly injured. Alright. Let's get a Moonwell up. And, what can I do? Noxious Burst. There we go. I should be able to just get just enough people with that. And Durance is on the ground, isn't he? Yeah, Durance is just on the ground. Ow, everybody's getting toasted. Durance, stand up. We need you to heal. Again. And Consecrated Ground up yet again. We'll switch our ranged people to these drakes to try and take them out real quick. At least the ranged people that aren't busy doing shit. An infestation of maggots on War Chief Iklat. Just because I'm getting irritated at him. Oh yay! Paralysis. Use my A paralysis yet again. And that'll paralyze everybody. Let's take out this young Drake first.
Dead on.
He's dead. Let's take out the actual Drake now. And this fight is about wiped out. Come on, Drake. So he took down what was basically a baby dragon. War Chief Iklet. Shall we debuff him? Yeah, why not? And he's down. Nice. That was much easier this time around. Shows what a couple levels will do for you. Ivory worm figure. That actually looks really nice. I'm loving these clickies that give you shit. They're really useful.
Hey.
Okay, War Chief Iklik is down.
Alright then.
I'm going to save the game. I'm going to head up there to see if there's any drakes left. If only so that when I come by here again later, if there are any left, I don't have any nasty surprises. I got a Zarup High Priest. Didn't come with the rest of them. Let's go ahead and take them out real quick. Well, I got 2 bounties down. Time to go turn at least one of them in. Heading to Cadenua. Alright, we're going to head up here to the Warden and do my turn-in. And get my handful of gold. Then we'll figure out what that stronghold message was. Here we go.
Hail, traveler.
War Chief Iklik is dead. That ought to make the Veilwood a little safer for a time. Here's your reward. Anything else? No, because I have no idea where the last bounty is. Alright. West Curtain Wall, construction complete. Major adventure, Dwarf still on it. What do I have left to build? Towers. Artificer's Hall. Chapel. Forum. Training grounds and battalion. Okay. Well, let's first of all let's build the towers, I guess. Wait a minute. Hedge maze. Let's build the hedge maze. Because I'm wanting to boost my security as much as possible. I'm not real happy with how the stronghold in this game works, but at least it's a stronghold. I'm going to rest while I'm in the stronghold, and I'm going to figure out what to do next. I'll give a dex bonus. Alright. What is left? We've got this bounty on Nowrin the Wise, which I do not know where Elmshore is yet. Then the other main quest is to head to Deerford Village. Travel to the cliffs I saw in the village, which I have no idea about. The Master below. I can go under Cadenua since I'm here and start exploring the Endless Past. I'm going to put that off for a little bit longer. Trials of Endurance and Fragments of a Scattered Faith. Does anybody need to talk to me? Nope, nobody's got the talk icons on me. So what I will do is I'm going to put off the remnant. I'm going to put off the Forgotten I'm going to put off the Forgotten Road under or the Endless Paths under Cadenua until such time as I can spend like just literally just a couple episodes exploring them. For now, I'm going to head to Deerwood Village finally and see what is to be seen there. And keeping in mind, I still have not finished completely exploring Defiance Bay. But I'm really interested in what Deerford Village has to offer. Alright, in Deerford Village, I immediately got sent to somebody who knows about the ruins. That's the next step of my quest. We have Grieving Mother, Winfrith's Arms and Armory, Hendia's Apothecary, Triggle's Curry, the Dracogen Inn, the Deerford Mill, and finally the Temple of Bereth. Let's see, Caldorf, Medrith. Let me save the game real quick and talk to Medrith. An elf idles by the road, watching the village across the river. He nods as you approach, and the cowled figures standing here near him fall silent. Greetings, friend. A slow smile forms as he eyes you. I've heard of you. Word has it you've been busy in Defiance Bay. I'm busy too, and eager to finish my business and get back to the city. What business is that? Haven't you heard? There's a murderer on the loose, said to have gone mad with grief and strangled a dozen healthy children when her own was hollow-born. He nods to the figures with him. We've come all the way from Defiance Bay to bring her back to justice. So why are you standing around here? She's hiding out in the village. We'd go in after her ourselves, but the problem is, she knows our faces. There's no telling what she'd do if she saw us coming, and we'd like to avoid any further unnecessary bloodshed. Her name's Nifri. She's an Orlan. We want to get her out of town so that we can deal with her cleanly. She knows we're looking for her, but if someone were to convince her that it's safe out here, if she's a mass murderer, why didn't the Duke send the Crucible Knights after her? The powers that be want to keep things quiet, for obvious reasons. Better not to cause a fuss, and certainly better not to startle her into doing something drastic. I could draw her out. She won't know you. It'd be simple. I have a few questions for you. What did Nifri do exactly? She was responsible for the murder of all those babies in Defiance Bay, remember? Terrible thing, but we'll make her pay, alright. Well, any luck with Nifri? Okay, I'm gonna head back to the search. I think that's something I gotta look into. Have I already been to Deerford Village in some incarnation? I don't think so. Let's head across. I do not have enough time in this particular episode to explore the entire village, so we're just gonna hit the main salient points. You must have seen something. Who is this? I suppose you've seen a young elven noblewoman around this parts. No, I haven't. She's been missing for days. You people can't keep stonewalling us. Okay, they're looking for some sort of girl.
The smell around here reminds me of this stable hand, Drutman. Not real popular with the women, Drutman.
Okay. Well, there's the apothecary standing out there selling potions. I will come back to talk to them later. There's Grieving Mother. The woman looks briefly through you as if she doesn't know you are there. Well, let's talk to her. This middle-aged peasant woman is dressed in a brown leather cloth draped down to her knees. Her hands are working at separating stringy, colorless vegetables in a pile before her, stripping the heads off the long, fibrous stems with a paring knife. She discards the stems one by one, placing the heads of the vegetables into a small, cradle-like basket in front of her. She doesn't greet you as you approach. You're not sure she even knows you're there. The woman doesn't respond. She keeps stripping the heads from the vegetables with a steady rhythm. She may be deaf, if there's no indication she heard you. At first glance, she seems nothing more than a middle-aged woman, unremarkable, maybe less stern than most, who seems more focused on the weaving in her lap than her surroundings. Yet you suddenly notice she's not stripping the vegetables before her any longer. She's weaving, and the vegetable pots are now missing. She still pays you no mind, her brown locks torn and snagged from lack of washing. Like many of the townsfolk you've seen, there's a strange blur to her. Even the motions of her hands seem to be playing with threads that lack color, in a shape that lacks interest. It may be that she is half-minded or deaf, but something feels wrong. As you watch, her knitting takes on an odd cadence, and you have a terrible suspicion that something lurks beneath what your eyes are showing you. Her brown hair is long, almost impossibly to the length of her hands. As you follow the streams of her locks downwards, the hairs become long and black, splitting off into threads of black and silver and wrapping around her hands. She is forming a soul cradle with the threads, braiding a net in front of you. Each finger long and sharp, like a series of knitting needles, almost hypnotic. The silver and black strands of her hair weave together, with silver predominating as a highlight, the black shadowing. And suddenly, you are calm. You are on a plateau, almost the height of a tower, several stories high. The plateau is like a table lying beneath a clear sky, and beneath the plateau, surrounding it in all directions, a forest hazy with mist, although whether it is actual mist, or distance, or a recollection. Resting in the curve of a natural arch above you is a great copper bell, half again the size of a man, hanging at attention, as if looking down on you in the event unfolding before you. The plateau is soaked in the sun, and the rock beneath you is rough and warm. The sky forms a cradle around you. You feel different, not disembodied, but you feel your body. Your physical contours have changed along with the surroundings. And you hear a soft series of chimes, like wind chimes. At the sound, the scene gains color and texture, as if the sound is beckoning you gently forth, filling your senses and thoughts, like a rolling mist. Like a mist rolling softly into a sealed chamber, and the chime coaxes you deeper into the memory. and you're certain it is a memory, a warm one. You are on the stone of the plateau, your knees on the warm texture of the ground, silver, white, shimmering like Adra. The plateau is formed of it, glistening in the sun. You can feel the heat on your skin, your wrists, and your hands. Your hands are in motion, weaving, not thread, but gathering, tenderly moving along the first movements of Barath's wheel. Your hands are wet. Your hands are upon the flesh of a newborn child, and you can feel the crowning of a tiny head, turning in your grip, its head slick, wet from the womb. The hands you are wearing, inhabiting, have done this many times, and they are practiced and confident. You can feel distant pains in your own head as the head emerges, a stream of fluid from the womb helping the newborn slide forth, and a woman's labored breathing, crying out. Like a damn book. That's all right. Focus on the child, the movement of your hands. As your hands move, you hear the sound of chimes, clear, cutting through the haze of memory. You cannot see where they are coming from, but they are close, and they are meant as a comfort. Of that you are certain. And coaxed by your hands, every movement causing the chimes to sound again. Almost eagerly the child comes forth, and as it does, your hands are in motion, weaving, moving along the length of a soft, wet rope. No, an umbilical cord from the legs of the naked woman before you. You are holding a small child, still wet from the womb, before you. The child cries out, its cry full of life, full of soul, the ringing of chimes echoing in its thoughts, filling with its welcome. The soul is blurred at the edges, as if you are viewing a soul, and from within a soul. But it is... it's too many words. The soul is blurred at the edges, as if you are viewing a soul from within a soul, but it is there, it is alive. The woman before you is weeping, and at her first cry, her hands reach out for it. You surrender the child to her, something you have done many times before, and as your hands move, the chimes echo the movement, and you realize the chimes are hanging from cords at your wrists, and where once they echoed in the memory, they are now echoing in the child's mind as well. The chimes are intended to welcome the child, to be its first, gentle greeting into the world, a soothing sound guided by the tender motions of your wrist. You are helping to weave its thoughts, its perceptions, and the experience. The experience. The woman laughs with a ragged joy, laughing from a parched throat. Her emotions seem soothed, but the physical demands of labor have left her exhausted. But the child is here, the child is safe, and all atop the plateau is peaceful, calm, distant, flattening out as the memory persists. With effort, the scene bleeds of color, and your mind becomes your own again. There is no pull, no anchor. Yet the sound of the chimes remain, as they existed in the memory. They sound here as well, and they are hanging from the woven braids on the wrists of the woman before you. Even your head is spinning from the touch of her mind. The sound of the chimes in her wrists are sharp and clear, as if coaxing you back to the real world. The woman still sits before you, but she is nothing like when you first saw her. She is wearing black, shredded garments that drape over her form like streamers. Her hair is streaks of black and run through with silver, her age almost impossible to tell. She simply feels old, like a crumbled watchtower. As she lifts her head to face you, you see that her hair is draped across the front of her face like a veil. What you first saw of her was a mental glamour of sorts, unconscious, and you realize what you see is not what the world sees, and you are perhaps the first to see her true self. Still, you don't sense a threat in the realization. If anything, you feel a sense of relief from the figure. You can hear her thoughts, and she is glad to at last be seen. Who are you?
I am seen, but the eyes of others do not remember. You were the first to see me as I am, the call stripped aside.
Thank you for being voiced. Oh, thank you for being voiced. Ah, fuck. There is a light touch on your mind, a caress, and her left hand mirrors the motions of the touch, reaching up to the air between you. You hear the chime on her wrist sound. Softly. Her hand moves as if pantomiming, resting on your cheek at a distance, and she speaks softly and slowly.
Memories. A cadence of wheels on a caravan track. Fever. Questions by running water. Violence in a night's campfire. Arrows in the dark. And fleeing. Falling rock and cracking stone. And a storm. The storm. The storm that brushed you, did its screaming wake you from your mind's cradle? Your memory of it is painful. Its cry is difficult to ignore. It's like a child. Many children crying out.
So she's kind of a watcher too, or something else. I encountered a bivouac, yes, and it did something to me. Her hand withdraws shyly, the chimes sounding softly once again. The woman stands, uncertainly, as if she had been sitting for some time, or is too weak to bear her own weight. You notice her cheekbones are tight, her face gaunt, yet while her stance is weak, she seems determined to stand before you.
You are able to see me.
It is almost a question. You suddenly realize she doesn't seem to know what you saw when you looked at her, the image on the plateau, yet the image was so clear, so sharp, you're surprised she didn't feel you there.
It's a rare gift, a watcher's gift.
Indeed. I've never been able to do that with a living person, except with you.
So many questions, thoughts whirling like storm winds. That storm still roars through you, deep beneath your thoughts, yet muted and secret, like an underground river. I cannot tell if it is carving new channels, or eroding what keeps your true strength buried. The fact that you could hear it at all, survive it, is something few have ever done. Your power will grow stronger with each soul you touch, as it allowed you to reach out to mine.
There is a silence, and although it seems to last for but a heartbeat, in your thoughts it stretches out between the two of you, like a pull between your minds. You blink, take a breath, and then you realize she wants to ask you a question, yet can't form the words, as if assembling them is painful, or there simply are not enough pieces. Do you wish to travel with me? You fear a wave of fear, gusted with the strength of relief, although oddly her expression does not change. Then fear dissipates, and you feel strength and certainty, as if the plateau from her memory lies beneath you, and a calm sky looks down upon you. And, what is she? What is she? She's a cipher. Level 7 cipher? I have no idea whether I need a cipher or not. Who can I afford to replace? That's the question. God, I wish I could have 8 people in the party. Okay, I can't replace my main. And Eder is like my only tank. Durance is really too damn useful to get to lose. Because he's my main healer. I'm finding that the Orlan, the Druid's stacking his AEs with RPG Crawler is an excellent way to eliminate a lot of these fights real quickly. So that just leaves the choice between Sagani and the and Kana. I'm gonna drop Kana. Not least of which is because he's annoying to remember to use. Sagani is straightforward, ranged attack. I like her pet. Kana gets a little bit annoying, so I will send him back to the keep. And let's see what the grieving mother has. I have no idea how to use a cipher. And you know what? I'm going to look at her real quick. Fine padded armor. Background, the Deerwood midwife. She has high dex. Padded armor, which I'm going to replace. And cipher spells, which I'll have to look through in the in-between episodes. And the reason I'm going to is because, quite frankly, this has been running long. So, we will call it here in the midst of Dyford with the Grieving Mother. We have collected all the bounties, and we are progressing in the main quest pretty well, I think. For now, this has been the RPG Crawler. Remember, if you like what you've seen, to like, comment, and subscribe for more RPG content. Until next time, take care and goodbye.